In this video, we will learn how to create a Zendesk account and access a free 14-day trial, navigate Zendesk's interface, manage roles and users, and how to receive, catalog, and respond to support tickets, email, phone calls, and social media messages all in one place. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Onboarding and Interface Tour. Click the link in the description to create an account and access a 14-day free trial. The onboarding process is straightforward. Enter an email address, answer a couple of questions, and that's it. No credit card required. Once you're in, you'll be asked if you want to automate support with an AI agent. We don't have time for that in today's video, so click Not Now. Click Skip on all the onboarding requests. We'll focus on understanding the left sidebar. At the very top is a temporary Zendesk support icon. Don't worry about that. Let's focus on the permanent ones instead. First up, we've got the home icon. No matter where you are in the app, you can always click this to get back to your central dashboard. View tickets. Next up is the Views menu, but I'll call it the View Tickets menu for obvious reasons. This is where you can view and sort all your support tickets. Customers. This is where you can add, search, and manage your customers. Organizations. Customers can be grouped into various organizations based on specific criteria. We'll talk more about this in Chapter 3. Reporting, where you can view all your Zendesk metrics, tickets, customer queries, user engagement, average response times, etc. in one spot. While we don't have time to explore this in today's video, know that it's highly customizable. Whatever data point you're looking for can be found. Last up is the gear icon, Admin. Clicking on the gear opens the Admin Center in a new tab. There's too much going on here to cover all at once, but this is where you will manage your accounts, oversee workflows, set up AI agents, build automations, and more. For now, let's close this tab and head back to the other ones. Click the Home tab to return to the dashboard and continue our tour. Launchpad, a new section designed to help you get up and running quickly. Broken into sections, the Launchpad significantly streamlines the laborious setup process that once defined Zendesk. We'll use it extensively in this video. Now, let's take the time to discuss users and roles in Zendesk. Basically, how to add your team to help you support your customers and what each role can do. Chapter 2. User Management and Roles. Zendesk has 4 different roles: end users, customers, agents, administrators, and a special role called light agents. I'll briefly explain what each role can do and how they differ from other roles. Agents support team members who can view and respond to tickets. Admins can view and respond to customer tickets like agents, as well as access and edit the backend of your Zendesk interface to add, delete, and edit core functionalities. End users. These are your customers. End users can create and view their own tickets. They cannot access the agent interface. Light agents. Light agents are a role designed for internal stakeholders who need to access tickets but do not handle tickets directly. As a result, light agents cannot send public replies to customers. For example, designating a software engineer or project manager as a light agent enables them to see relevant tickets, provide advice, and stay in the loop. Now, let's add an agent to your account so you can get a feel for the process. There are 2 ways to add team members, through the Admin Center or the Launchpad. I'll do this the old-fashioned way. Click the cog wheel, click People, and select Team Members. Click Create Team Member in the upper right. Enter their name and email address. Click Next in the bottom right, and select Agent from the drop-down list. Click Save, and there we go. That will send an onboarding email to your team member with their proper role already assigned. So, now that you know your way around Zendesk's interface and the difference between user types, let's cover tickets, the key feature of Zendesk. Chapter 3. Tickets. Everything in Zendesk revolves around tickets. Each customer request or flagged issue becomes a ticket. Let's click on Views in the sidebar. A simple ticket is available under your Unsolved Tickets. Click it. Tickets are divided into several parts. The middle section is the conversation thread, the back and forth messages between customers and support. At the top of the ticket, you'll see the ticket subject, and just below it, the option to have Zendesk's AI summarize the situation. This can be helpful when your agents need help from administrators or light agents. On the left side of your screen, you see all the data collected about the ticket, including requester, the customer who submitted the ticket, assignee, Name of agent is responsible for managing the ticket. Followers. Here you can grant another agent admin or light agent access to the conversation in view-only mode. Tags. Labels that can be attached to tickets. They can be used to trigger automated workflows or summon an AI agent when you get more advanced. Type. An optional feature to categorize tickets, for example, question or incidents. Priority. A ticket's important, for example, normal or high. Summary. Another spot to view the AI-generated summary. Status. The stage of the ticket in its life cycle, like new, open, pending, or closed. Let's skip over the next 3 uneditable fields to focus on the last 6 items. Intent, intent confidence, language, language confidence, sentiment, and sentiment confidence. While these are entirely optional, your agents should fill these fields out to the best of their ability. Why? Well, because this data will be invaluable in training your AI agents in the future. Rather than simply hypotheticals, the AI will have actual interactions between your customers and support team, enabling it to learn faster and smarter. On the right, you'll find the Customer Context panel, where you can see information about the customer who submitted the ticket you're currently viewing. Responding to tickets. In the ticket's main conversation area, you'll see the customer's initial message at the top. Below that, there's a box for you to write a reply. Zendesk's ticket editor has 3 modes: public reply, internal notes, and call. Public reply is the default. That's a response the customer will see. An internal note is a private comment for your team's eyes only. Call, meanwhile, lets your agent call the customer. You can toggle between these options by simply clicking on public reply and switching between them. Let's look at the bottom of the conversation interface. When typing your reply, you have a formatting toolbar where you can format text, choose emojis, and add attachments and links directly in your response. If the customer emails screenshots or files along with their ticket, they'll appear at the beginning of the conversation. Submitting a ticket. After writing a reply or note, submit the ticket update. There's a submit button at the top with a drop-down that lets you choose the status in one action. For example, submit as open or submit as pending. By clicking the button, your reply is saved and sent. For example, I'll type the following message: closing the ticket. Thank you. Now, I'll click on the drop-down menu and select Solved. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see that the status has updated in the interaction history. The ticket is now solved. Pretty easy. Now, that's still not everything we need to cover about tickets though. We got a pop-up about macros. Macros are pre-written replies or automated actions you can quickly add to tickets with a single click. Click Apply Macro in the bottom left corner. Zendesk includes some default macros, such as close and redirect to topics or customer not responding. You can also write your own by pressing Create a Macro. Selecting a macro from the list sends a pre-written message to the customer and updates fields at the same time. Now, let's round out the video by setting up your very first AI agents. Chapter 4, AI Agents. This time, we'll use the Launchpad. Click it. Find the one labeled AI Agents, then hit Start. There are 2 ways to give your AI agents the data it needs: linking it to your website or adding content manually. You should do both. Make sure your website is in the field, like mine is, and manually upload important documents. For example, let's say I want the AI agent to be able to walk clients through our script writing process. Then I'll go to one of the company's standard operating procedures, SOPs, and copy and paste the content into the box here. There we go. Now you can either choose to test or continue to the next step. I'm going to hit Next. Now it's time to give the agent its personality, its name, and how you want it to talk with customers. I'll go ahead and name ours George and have it talk informally. Click Next. At this stage, you can test the agent by having your team members ask it questions. I'll go ahead and open the Test on Web link in a new tab. I'll ask the agent the following: why should I go with GV Marketing instead of another company for my tutorial? Let's see what George comes up with. Hey, not too bad. The response doesn't directly answer the question, but that's okay. All I need to do is give George some more information to formulate an even better answer. All right, let's close this tab and finish setting up our AI agents. Click Next. Now, click Keep Going. All that's left is to connect your support email address to your AI agents. Setting this up is easy. All you have to do is log into your email address and enter a verification code. Now, before we wrap up this video, I want to show you how to add additional content for your AI agents to reference. Click on the cog wheel to open the admin panel. Click on AI and select AI agents. Click on your agent's name and open instructions. That's it. Now you can create detailed instructions for your agent to follow, from specific words and phrases to include to long-form content it can reference in future conversations. All right, now make sure you go back to the Launchpad and finish setting up the basics. We've only scratched the surface in today's video. And if you haven't signed up yet, click the link in the description below to get yourself a free 14-day trial to Zendesk. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.